All right, so we got a new patron, Ashley Morrow. So, whatever it is, you're a sweetheart. This is a new patron and a new subscriber to my knowledge. I think that she's only been around for a little bit, but in the short time that she's been around, she's made her presence known, and I appreciate it. You've been a sweetheart. And that thing we were just talking about like a couple hours ago, that work-related thing, it's going to be all right. Okay? Just, I get it. It's scary, but you're going to be all right. So, all right. She requested Jennifer's Body, which in my experience, Jennifer's Body is what brought me the two greatest things in my life, my children. So, thank you to Jennifer's Body for that. Mother of my kid's name is Jennifer, in case anyone hasn't put that together. Okay, moving on. Now this was from the director of The Invitation, and Eon Flux, and Girl Fight. And so, good director here. And this was written by Diablo Cody, starring Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried. Chris Pratt makes a pretty small appearance in here, and you've got a really bizarre performance from J.K. Simmons where he plays like a hook-handed teacher that doesn't really have a whole lot to do in this movie, but because he was in Juno, I guess he's just kind of making an appearance here. Now, this was during Megan Fox's heyday. This was like when she was the shit. She was the sex symbol of the time when the Transformer movies were coming out and whatnot. She was it. And so, of course, somebody wanted to capitalize on her sex appeal, so they made a movie about her body. But let me tell you something. If you're going to make an R-rated horror flick named Jennifer's Body about a seductress succubus played by Megan fucking Fox, and you're going to have all these sex scenes, and you're going to have her taking off her clothes and swimming in lakes and seducing guys, you're not going to show a single tit? Really, Megan Fox? Really? That's what, beneath you? You want people to take you seriously? Really? Come on. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have the right to choose. Of course they do. Just, I don't know. Shit like this is like, really? Really, if you're gonna fucking show if you're gonna show your fucking body off, you might as well do it in a movie called Jennifer's Body, where you're a seductress, where you're literally a fucking succubus that's come back from the dead to wreak havoc on men, like with your sexual appeal, and you're not going to show your body? Like, come on. The title of the movie is Jennifer's Body, which we never see. Although I thought it was pretty cool that at the end of this movie we get the whole song Violet, which is a great song off a great album. And on that same album is the song Jennifer's Body. So obviously Diablo Cody named this movie after the whole song Jennifer's Body, which is pretty cool because that's a great album. Anyway, was big into that when I was in high school. After Kurt's death, Live for This was released, and shit was good, man. Shit was fire, as they all say today. All right, so in the opening, Amanda Seyfried's character here, Needy, just fucking straight up punts someone's ass right across the room. She goes full Ray Finkel on this girl and just launches her. It's such a brutal kick. I love it. And then we get to see this bottomless pit, this like fucking, it's like a little river that like a drain, a circuit. Yeah, whatever. It's in here. You know that it's, you kind of know where that's heading when you see the thing. But it doesn't really do anything. I thought for sure like Jennifer was going to get kicked down that fucking thing, but no. And yeah, I mean, Megan Fox isn't typically my type, and I'm not gonna say she's like some high up there crush of mine or anything, but she's very attractive in this film. There's no doubt about it. But Amanda Seyfried is just one of the most beautiful women. Now she plays that like ugly girl, or that pretty ugly girl, isn't that what they call it? The ugly pretty girl, or pretty ugly girl, whatever the hell. That's what she plays in this movie. She like puts on glasses and puts her fucking hair back, and of course she's supposed to be ugly. Come on. The outfits that she wears and everything in this movie, and the way that she dresses herself. That's why my job as a hairdresser is so rewarding at times, because you can legitimately change someone's overall appearance and give them an immense amount of confidence. I mean, I've seen people come in here looking one way and walking out of here looking completely different. Like completely different. It's wild what a hairstyle will do for you. It really is. It's like night and day. You wouldn't even recognize them walking out. And yeah, you've got Needy here, who's, I guess, needing the attention of Jennifer, so she follows her around like a little puppy dog, a little fangirl. She's a sycophant of Jennifer. And, they kind of know their places in their friendship, I suppose. Like, they seem like pretty good friends. And I don't really understand. There's a mental connection between them in this movie that's not really ever explained, because it's there from the beginning of the movie. So there's like some kind of psychic link between them in this film that, as I said, is there before Jennifer is even turned. So, and then it's played throughout the film. And she even has like American Werewolf in London type dreams where she's like seeing dead people and shit. That stuff doesn't really make any sense to me. I mean, unless I missed something, I don't understand that at all. So I guess they're just psychically linked. Did I miss something there? Because I swear it happens before Jennifer becomes what she is, and even before that, why wouldn't she like be like, why am I connected? What's going on here? It's just kind of a given in the film, so I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing more dangerous than some young, beautiful woman like this knowing exactly what she possesses in here and down here. Like, if a girl that good looking knows what she has, knows the power of what she has, and is willing to use it, fuck, man, God have mercy on whoever's soul gets in her way, because men are pathetic. Men are easy marks. And I really do feel sorry for any guy that is going to get manipulated by this woman, because it would be so easy to do. It's almost like it's unfair. I know that sounds stupid. I know some people would like roll their eyes at that and be like, well, guys just need to fucking keep it in their pants and this and that. And I'm like, I don't think you get it. I really just don't. I don't think people who don't get that, I know that sounds like it's contradictory, or not contradictory, but it makes it sound like it's very obvious. Like, if you don't get it, you won't get it. But seriously, a girl like that coming at a guy, seducing, forget it. Like, very few guys are going to make it out of that situation. Especially if she's a succubus and can kill you. So, they don't really even have a chance in this. I like how they think Jennifer is a virgin, and she isn't, and that's why the ritual goes wrong. It doesn't really go wrong for them until the very, very end of the movie. But before that, they still get what they want, which is the fame. And I don't know why this doesn't make any sense to me. I get what the singer says. He says, I know a girl like that. She's a tease. She's not going to give it up. She's a virgin. A girl like Megan Fox, who's all super flirtatious and whatnot to those guys, you're banking on her being a virgin. Really? Megan Fox. A virgin. Really? Like, of all the chicks that were in there, that's who you pegged as the virgin. And they were wrong. I mean, duh. I mean, as I said, it didn't really matter for them until later, but it very much mattered later because Needy came and took him out. Now, something that this movie reminded me of that I really haven't thought about in a long time, and I wasn't expecting to have this feeling, but man, this made me miss going to a live show. I haven't been to one in a while, and I kind of took them for granted. But like seeing them at the show and like the band in front of them and them all in front of it, like, man, it was really appealing. And I was like, oh my God, I really, really want to do this right now. Holy shit, I wish I was at a show. But that is not possible at the moment. So we see Jennifer go with this band. Obviously, she shows up covered in blood. She vomits black. She's evil. The animals gather around her when she's killing. The succubi, do they draw in animals, or do evil, like animals converge together on a spot of evil, or to observe the top predator? I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's a cool moment, but it's like, what is that? And the aftermath kill of the first jock guy looks good. So that you got that. You don't really got much gore in this film, but you do get some good aftermath gore, so that's all right. You got Tom Cullen, M-O-O-N. That spells Tom Cullen. He plays basically like smarter Tom Cullen in this. Is this actor dumb? Like, he acted just like Tom Cullen in this when he was talking. I was like, is that just the guy? Is he mentally handicapped or something? It was interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen this guy in anything else, so I'm like, oh wow, maybe he wasn't acting. The lighter on the tongue bit is like probably the most famous scene from this film, what I remember from the trailer anyway. I like that the sex that Amanda Seyfried is having with her boyfriend in this movie is depicted pretty well. Teenagers having sex is awkward. It's just an awkward thing. When you're a kid, you really have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Now, I'm sure there's some women that are watching this right now and they're like, I know a bunch of guys that are much older than teens and they still don't know what the fuck they're doing. Well, I'm sorry for them. I can't really speak for them. But I know for sure that I was dreadful when I first started. I mean, horrid. I remember one of the very first times ever was one of the most awkward experiences of my entire life. Like, I stood over in the corner and like took my clothes off slowly, and she kind of like took her clothes off under the bed, and then I like got on top, and I was like, all right, like, here we go. And I couldn't get it in for anything, for nothing, because she was like dry as fuck. Because like, what's foreplay? What's getting her into it? What, doesn't it just slip right in? It's a vagina. Doesn't it just take dicks? Isn't that like its purpose? It doesn't, okay? It doesn't unless it's ready to do it. That moment right there, I was just like, damn, man, rape must not be the most pleasant experience for either side of me. Because you're like, you try to push in there. If I tried to push in there as hard as I could, it would fucking kill. Like, I wouldn't get any pleasure out of that, I wouldn't think. So it's just crazy to me, like, when that was happening. So like, just, and then I couldn't, and I was so excited that I finished anyway, and then I ran away from there, like, so embarrassed. But then, like, as I was running home, I was like, yeah, like, I just had sex, I'm so cool. I wasn't cool. I wasn't fucking cool. I was so lame. I was so terrible at that. But honestly, our next time was really good. Weirdly. I like jumped up like 18 pegs the next time somehow. Like, candles were lit. It was all sensual. She was in the mood, so like things went well. God damn that first time though, with my very first girlfriend, Ashley. Isn't that a fucking coincidence? There you go. But yeah, I like the depiction of teen sex in this. You guys know what I'm talking about. The first few times you have sex, that wasn't the first time I'd ever had sex, but the first person I had sex with did everything for me, so I didn't really have to do anything. But then this was the second person, and I had to take charge, and I was like, I think I have an idea of what to do. I've seen porno. I think I know where it goes. Damn, man. And then, yeah, putting a condom on, too, for the very first time. That was an experience. I was like, what is this horrible thing taking all the fun out of this? Fucking really does. You can feel so little. It's ridiculous. And I put male seduction is so easy. It is. I haven't tried to seduce a guy, but I also don't look like Megan Fox or Amanda Seyfried or fucking any of the other beautiful women in the world. And I like that there's two different styles of sex being portrayed here. So you've got like the romantic sex going on between Needy and her boyfriend, and then you got the like one night stand intense, this is so wrong but so right, so hot kind of moment between Jennifer and the like emo punk kid. And I like that they're kind of mashed together to show like the two different versions of sexual encounters, love versus lust. It's an interesting thing to put side by side. It very much, I guess it really would appeal to you during the time frame of mind that you had at that moment, right? So like maybe when I first watched this, I thought that the Jennifer scene was more my style. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is new, it's hot, she's mysterious, and they're in this like crazy location, and wow, this is wild, and wow, this would be such a risky thing, so hot, whatever. Now I look at that like, ugh, I don't want anything to do with that. I look at the love sequence of those kids that are like fucking crazy about each other and are just like, fully in, and it's all safe and wonderful. That sounds much more appealing to me these days. But I liked seeing them kind of mashed together like that. I thought that was cool. I also like that like she's starting to see Jennifer's perspective or like what's happening there. So she starts like freaking out, and she's like almost crying, but this guy thinks it's like moaning, so he's like getting more into it. And then like he realizes she's really upset, and of course the first thing that comes to his mind, and he's all like smiling and excited about it, is like, I'm not too big, am I? Guys in the size of their dick, guys in the size of their fucking dicks, we're just pathetic. We really, really fucking are. But women have kind of helped with that, because there is so much size talk, and it depends on where you go. If you talk to some women, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. And then if you talk to other women, they're like, it fucking matters. But let me tell you something right now. Women are fucking lying, okay? If you talk to any woman, if you really sit down and talk with them, 9 out of 10. Now, there is 1 out of every 10 or 1 out of every 100 that really doesn't care. But for the most part, if you ask them, you have to ask them the right question. That's it. Because they'll be like, oh, it's just how he uses it. It's not so much the size, it's how he uses it. And then I say to them, okay, so how about 2 guys who know exactly how to use it? Do you prefer the bigger one or the smaller one? And they're like, oh, well, the bigger one in that case. So it's like, oh, then size does matter if he knows how to use it and it's big. So you just got to know the right questions to get through the bullshit. And, oh man, when Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox make out in this, it's not a bad sequence. They're actually supposed to have sex in this movie in the original script. That would not have been the worst scene. But what would it have mattered? We wouldn't have seen shit. Neither one of them are going to show a fucking thing. We see more of Amanda Seyfried's naked body in this than we do of Megan Fox's. At least we see side boob on her. We see a little like front boob on Megan when she pulls down her top the first time, like when she unzips her jacket. But come on, man, this movie needed nudity. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't make a seduction movie where the girl's superpower is sex, and it's a sex symbol, and it's all about sexual, power and all this, without nudity. That's a misstep. I'm sorry. I mean, some people just think I'm a pervert, and I am, but I'm sorry. You don't make a movie like this without nudity. You just don't do it. Just doesn't make any sense to me. I like when the band is sacrificing her and they're like, sorry, man, like we've tried everything, but Satan is our only hope. That's a great line. That's a great line. We find out that that Indian foreign exchange student guy lived, and that was Jennifer's first victim. And there's a real mom moment at the funeral. Like, I thought that was interesting because the rest of this film kind of, it's not like goofy, but there's a playfulness to it. And it's got that signature Diablo Cody banter between people. Everyone's like too witty for their own good. But there's this like real moment at the funeral when the mom is having to deal with the goth kid's best friends, and they're sitting there and they're saying this shit, and the mom kind of gets up and she like kind of goes Miss Kittner on them and just lets them fucking have it. It's like, you shove it up your fucking ass. Like I've got a monopoly on pain. Like, it's a really fucking sad moment. It's like, damn, it was a heavy scene. That's a heavy ass scene in this rather silly kind of light fun film. I shouldn't say light. Like, maybe that's not the right word. You know what I mean, though? This film's playful. I don't feel like this film takes itself seriously almost ever. So then that mom scene is just like, wow, that was really fucking depressing, but realistic, so I don't mind it. And I just love the concept of a ritual gone wrong. Like, you think you've got a virgin, and then you find out she's like done anal by the time she was like 12. And then, of course, it all goes wrong because of that. I think that's great, man. I think that's really great. Now, the boyfriend of Needy makes out with Jennifer like super easy, super quick. Just buys her, takes her at her word. Like he was just looking for an excuse. He was just looking for an excuse to get with Jennifer. Now, what are Jennifer's powers in this? Is it just purely like she's hot and she's got a sexy body and all that shit? Or does she have like a deeper power than that? Is there seduction like in her in her fucking like genome now? Like, can she kind of procure some kind of I guess like a pheromone kind of response, almost like Poison Ivy in the Batman and Robin movie, like where she's able to lure them in with something more than just like everyday good looks? I don't think so, because the jock doesn't really seem to fall for that, and the other kid, I don't feel like it's portrayed that way at all. So it's just purely her sex appeal. Like, she could have done this at any point in the movie. It would have been harder for her to kill these guys, but she would have still been able to lure them in, I feel, exactly the same way. And then I think, then Needy goes and she kills Jen. I mean, Jennifer doesn't really kill anybody in this movie. She kills like 2 guys. That's a shame. I feel like there should have been some Carrie moment. Like, I would have liked to have seen Jennifer go full on fucking animal, like straight up demon, and just rip the prom apart or something. Go Carrie, but like a physical Carrie, as opposed to like a mental Carrie where she like does shit with her mind. This girl does shit with her body. It's Jennifer's body, right? And she should be laying down bodies right and left. And we just don't get that in this movie, and it's kind of a shame. And then she goes and she just kind of kills her really easily. Like, I was not impressed by Jennifer's death, her demise. I was just like, that's it? She's dead? That's that? And because of that, she like inherits some of her powers or whatever, and then she's taken in. But Jennifer's mom in this is hot, which makes perfect sense. I mean, usually if you're that hot, your mom's pretty hot. Not always. I've seen some drastic differences between moms and their daughters, no doubt about that. And then she gets picked up by Lance Henriksen, who makes a little cameo here, which was always great to see. And then she goes to kill the band, Karma, I guess, or Truckma. What did he pick her up in? I had some kind of joke, bad joke. Moving on, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I think I complained about the nudity enough, and not enough kills. But I do think it's a fairly iconic film for its time. I'm not huge on it, but it has developed a cult status. There's no doubt about it. And I don't dislike the movie. I like it. I just think that there's a lot of tweaks that could have happened here to make this film much, much better. Much, much better. But as it sits, I enjoyed it. It was a fine watch. Wouldn't watch it again anytime soon. But regardless, Ashley, you're a doll. As I said, keep positive or negative. And we'll talk soon. So let me get this uploaded for you so you can see it. Adios.